What is going on, everybody, today? And today, welcome back to Inside the Sidelines, episode 4. Today is a very special episode because I got two of the BOX founders of the BOX network. Go check them out on YouTube. I got Aaron up here and I got Zach up here. Guys,
no, wrong direction. No. You pointed at. You said me as I was Aaron. You pointed up. That's Aaron. You pointed at me. That's Zach pointing at Aaron.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter. This is my
I
show.
don't care about the ref. I just said so.
It's my show. I can do whatever I want.
That's an insult to me.
Oh!
So, welcome, guys. I appreciate you guys joining me on this week. Of Inside the Sidelines. Welcome back, both of you. Not too long ago that I had both of you guys on for the very first episode and the second episode back to back. So, how are you guys doing today, guys?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. You know, good, fresh off some news for this week, and wanted to get both of you guys on here, get you guys a little bit of warmed up for your season to come. Can't wait for those episodes here. Zach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, buddy. I feel like I just taught you like 2-3 weeks ago. So
yeah,
doing good.
Yeah. So welcome, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into the video today. Wanted to get a special episode out for you guys today. Kind of a little bit of interesting how Inside the Sidelines is going to work from here on out. Wanted to get multiple guests on here at the same time. Daily recordings on weekdays, on Tuesdays, and uploads the same night. So let's get into this week, guys. Big news coming out of this week. Just Tuesday after the freshly Monday night game. Davante Adams traded to the New York Jets. I think we all saw that coming. I didn't see him getting traded to any other place. Of course, Davante Adams going from the Raiders to the Jets, where he reunites with his old partner in crime, Aaron Rodgers. Guys, I wanted to get your take on this. A conditional third that could be a second. Did the terms come out of what can it be for being a second round pick? Has it not come out yet? I just know it's a conditional third.
I think it was like, I'm not sure what it was exactly, but yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Rapport said something earlier about it. I think it was like something with his stats.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find it.
Let's see.
Oh, here it is. Oh wait, never mind. Go
on. It will become a second rounder if Adams claims an all-pro nod or the Jets reach the AFC title game with Adams on the active roster.
And I just want to add one more thing to it. I guess they already restructured his contract too. Let me see if I could find it. Oh, here it is. The Jets and Davante Adams have agreed to a contract restructure of his 2024 contract, lessening the cap hit. They will also likely to adjust 2025 and 2026 eventually.
Yeah. So, we talked about it in the chat. A little bit of just a sarcasm in our chat today. Do you think trading for Adams for the future? I know he's like 32 years old, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how old he is, but for a 32-year-old or 31-year-old wide receiver, it's very interesting to see because I know the Jets window is now. They want to try to win, try to salvage their season after the Robert Saleh deal going off. Guys, I wanted to get your take. Do you think the Adams deal will haunt them back down the road? Because I don't think Sauce and or Wilson signed their contracts extensions. Again, sarcasm in the chat. Go shout out to Kevin saying that who needs youth when you have Aaron Rodgers wanting what Aaron Rodgers wants. So, guys, I wanted to get your intake. Do you think this Adams deal is going to pan out at the end of the day?
So, I guess I'll go first here. I would say, I don't know, it's hard because I feel like Aaron Rodgers is the one calling the shots here. Mm-hmm. I think he wanted to get Robert Saleh fired, and he got that. I don't know. I'm not sure if Aaron, you and Mitch have the same thoughts, but it just seems like Rodgers is kind of in control here. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not sure yet, but I don't know, man. That it's kind of hard to answer that right away because we just don't know what he's going to do for them. They going back to last night. I know we'll talk about it in a little bit here, but the Jets look really good. Not really good, but they looked pretty solid on offense yesterday. Now, the Bills' defense, credit to them, really limited the damage in the second half. But, my God, dude, like Aaron Rodgers with Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, who's the other guy? Hardman, right? I think that was him, right?
No, Hardman went back to the Chiefs. So you're probably
Who's the
just
one
thinking
guy that
you're probably just thinking of Allen of Allen.
Oh, Lazard. Lazard was the other guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Lazard. So they're doing that, and then with a combination of Brees Hall and Allen. Aaron, I wanted to get your thoughts on that. What do you think? Do you think it's going to cost them down the road? Do you think they're going to try to find a way to get Sauce and Wilson both locked up? What are you thinking on this?
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with Zach. I feel like it's just kind of a waiting game at this point, but I feel like at this point in time, it seems like they're kind of just all in on Adams here. Like maybe they just move forward with Adams and maybe try and get some of that capital back if they, potentially trade, either maybe Wilson or a Sauce maybe. But yeah, I feel like it's just kind of a waiting game at this point, but I mean, it definitely, does help, the chemistry, on that Jets offense. I mean, it was clear, Rodgers and Lazard, two former Packers, they clearly still had the connection after Monday's Hail Mary to end the half. But yeah, now you're just adding another, weapon that Rodgers is clearly familiar with. So it's only just going to, grow that chemistry even more in that locker room. But it's just the question is, I mean, yeah, like Zach said, I do feel like Rodgers is definitely running the show with the Jets, but it's like the hits that he takes, especially, the ones that he took Monday. It was the previous week as well. I know he was kind of a little shaken up last week just because, of all the hits that he takes. It's just the question, like, yeah, Adams has like another, 2-3 years. It's like, I don't see Rodgers lasting that long. That's the only problem, with this deal. You're fully committed to a new number one on this team, but you have a 40 plus, year old quarterback who's still leading the way on this team. So it's like, I don't see him lasting another 2-3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's certainly interesting to see what Adams does in the next coming years and this year remaining for the Jets. Well, go ahead, Zach.
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but we have our first impromptu trade. Just happened now. The Texans are trading running back Cam Akers to the Vikings per multiple reports.
Okay. Well, a little bit of inside the sidelines and inside the reporting.
I'm an insider. Let's go.
Yeah, you're an insider now, Zach. So welcome. Well, not the only other trade that's happening around the NFL today. Another big one here is Amari Cooper traded to the Buffalo Bills. Kind of what everyone was seeing, that the Bills needed to finally find someone to be that guy again. Was just watching One Bills Live YouTube channel. And they were saying that this is finally what the Bills needed. I think it's the best fit. Now, again, it is Amari Cooper, so we know what Amari Cooper can do. So it was a solid deal, I think, in my opinion. I think it's a win-win for both sides. Cooper gets out of Cleveland. I think he's a little bit happier that he's not with a quarterback that, gets into trouble a lot and doesn't know how to throw a football, kind of. And not killing the Browns salary cap. So Cooper is probably happy. They are been a little bit of reports in that YouTube video that I watched for the Bills that Cooper is expected, I think, to play this Sunday for them. Expected to suit up at home against the Titans. So, I mean, I think this was a match made in heaven. Honestly, I think Cooper is still a good wide receiver. We're not paying a whole lot actually for him. I think like $750K. I think that's what it came out to be, but we're only paying him chump change at this rate. I think Cleveland took the rest of it. Yeah, but my thoughts on this one before I get to you both is that I'm excited to see him. I've been a big Amari Cooper fan ever since he got drafted to the Raiders, so I was hyped for him. Was hoping that he would fall to the Bills in that draft, but guess not. But or the Bills would have taken him or something. But yeah, Cooper coming to Buffalo, joining the Bills Mafia. A solid wide receiver. Solid wide receiver. He's been one for years and years. About 30 years old. So what is your guys' take on Mr. Cooper joining the Mafia?
I guess I'll go first with this one. But yeah, very, very excited. And then, yeah, like you said, Mitch, only taking on less than $1 million of his contract. I mean, that's just a huge icing on the cake. You go from, you look at Devontae Adams, who's making all that money. Yes, it would be great to have a player like him, but I don't know. In my opinion, I still stand by it. I feel like Adams is just another Diggs, essentially. He's just, another diva who just wants to be on a winning team and, win games. So kind of, happy. Yes, we didn't get him, it's still 50-50 for me, but Amari Cooper, he was that second best guy, on everyone's list. And I'm glad we got him. We didn't give up much for him. And I'm hoping, this is definitely the next chapter in his life where he's, fully committed to this team. This is his fourth team after spending time with Cleveland, Dallas, and the Raiders. So definitely hoping it works out here. I'm hoping he does play on Sunday. Yeah, even if it is just limited time, I am hoping to see some action from him. Seems like he was pretty excited as well. He said he was excited to start turn a new chapter and to be able to contribute. Like I said, you're paying less than $1 million for a guy who can easily get 1,000 yards on your team. He was able to do that last year in 2023. Obviously, this year it was a much slower start for him because, when you have a guy like Deshaun Watson as your quarterback, it's tough. So, now he turns the chapter to Josh Allen throwing him the ball now. So I'm definitely happy with the trade. It was much needed. Don't have to see. Granted, he's an okay football player, but Mac Hollins is not no number one. So I'm hoping to not see Mac not much more. So very happy about the trade, and I hope to see him as a Bill for the long term.
Go for it, Zach.
Yeah. Before I give my thoughts on Cooper, I just want you guys to know about the Akers trade. Houston gets a 2026 conditional 6th-round pick in exchange for Akers and a 2026 conditional 7th-round pick. So that's the deal on Akers.
And he just signed with Houston too, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
As Cooper, I was really happy. So I was actually eating lunch at work today, and someone I know texted me about something. He's like excitement, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I wonder what he's talking about now. And I go on Twitter because I had a feeling that's what it was going to be like. It was going to be like some kind of deal, and it was a Twitter comment said the break in the Bills had traded for Amari Cooper. I'm like, let's go, and I jumped up and told my coworkers. It was awesome. No, I really love this deal, and it's pretty evident that this team needed a boost at wide receiver. Aaron touched on it already. I do not have to watch, with all the respect to Mac Hollins and all them, I do not have to watch him go up for a ball anymore, And doesn't it feel like it takes the pressure off Khalil Shakir too now? Shakir was kind of the guy in this offense of talented receivers, but, he really didn't he had, 1 or 2 catches last night against the Jets? No one really had that game passing-wise. And yeah, Josh still had 215 yards or whatever. Josh was much better than what he was against Houston last week. But now it creates, chances for this offense now. It's going to create separation. Cooper is so good at getting separation, and that's something the Bills had not had at all this year. So, I don't know, man. I'm really excited about Khalil Shakir, Amari Cooper, and Keon Coleman along with Dalton Kincaid. I think this offense is going to flourish with Cooper. Like Aaron said, I hope that he does play. It would be really cool. He might. I mean, it's still early in the week, but we'll see what happens this week at practice. But I guess now I saw something on Twitter too that I don't know who it was. I'm not sure how true it is, but apparently Cooper hated Deshaun Watson. So take that as you will. He put on his Instagram story, "Move or rust." So I'm not sure what that means. I'm guessing like he was obviously he's happy, but he was. I feel like he really wanted out of Cleveland, and I think that he's happy. So fresh start for Cooper.
Mhm.
But as for the Bills, how can you not be excited? You lost the big fish to say Devontae Adams. You got the second best guy in the market. So obviously there's more work to be done, but this is definitely a step in the right direction for Buffalo.
Yeah, and going back to what you guys will touch, going back for you guys will touch is I think it will take a lot of pressure off. I think Keon too. I know Khalil's been the go-to guy because he can go and look for Shakir can go, and Josh Allen knows where he is, and I feel like that's the same with Coleman. Again, Coleman is a rookie, everyone. So I like I said, and I'll say it from the beginning. I think Keon is going to be the guy going forward from here on out, but it will take and it will make sure Keon can go under Cooper's wing, I think, now for a little bit. I think everyone's kind of underrating this move a little bit too, because everyone's thinking everyone's going to be covering Cooper. Everyone's going to be fine. Where's Cooper? I think L'Jarius Sneed, which is L'Jarius Sneed, their number one corner is probably going to be covering Cooper if he's on the field this Sunday. We all know about him and the Kansas City Chiefs, so he's been a thorn in our side for a while, so we got to deal with him. But again, I think Keon can benefit from this. If you wanted to touch in on this too, Keon can definitely benefit from this because Cooper's been in the league and he's been in the league for quite a while. So Keon can get advice like Kincaid did with Knox, like him and Knox, like ever since Kincaid came in, him and Knox have been just buddy buddies. They know how do I do this, how do I do that better, but they both feed off of each other. And now Kincaid's obviously the starter, but again, Keon is a rookie still, so he's still learning. He's still very, very, very young, so he's still learning. He's still learning himself, and I think adding Cooper now as a veteran presence is good for him because Cooper knows how to get how to win those one-on-ones. I don't know if Cooper is the fastest guy in the field, but still Cooper can get, like Zach said, he can separate and Cooper can get those catches, and no less. I think he can get contested catches too. He's a good contested ball catcher. So like Keon can really open things up for himself with Cooper on the other side of him. Because again, everyone was getting frustrated with Mac Hollins. This actually opens the door for not Debo, Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel too.
I wish it was Debo Samuel.
Yeah, I think everyone does. But Curtis Samuel, everyone forgets about him too. I mean, he's kind of been, we think that he could have been in the like kind of like a Debo role where he goes in the backfield where he does this. This opens the role for I think Debo, not Curtis now. And then because now you got me saying Debo.
This is manifesting a Debo Samuel trade. I respect
I'm manifesting it. Manifesting. But we keep on forgetting Curtis is still on the team too. So now what is his role now in all this now too? Now, does he come off when Cooper needs a break? Does he come off when when Keon gets a break? Like now this is where Curtis is going to start being like, okay, now I'm going to get into this role. And maybe I can be in the backfield. Maybe I can be that sneaky running back / wide receiver hybrid that, maybe the Bills want to try to do. Obviously, Cook's coming back, I think, hopefully this week. So we'll get him hopefully back and going. But Ray Davis, we'll touch on him in a little bit here about the game. But again, it'll be exciting to see how the Bills offense opens up now with all the weapons that we're slowly getting now. And thanks for my MVS for being on the team. So he was on the field for a couple plays and he got released today. So in place of Cooper. So we'll see. And Cooper, welcome to Bills Mafia, baby. Zach.
I just want to add one more thing, and we can move on then. So we talk about taking the pressure off Shakir. I feel like it takes the pressure off of Josh too, because when Diggs was here, it was like, okay, go. No one else could get open except for Diggs. So Diggs. Whereas, weeks 1 through 3, they were really doing a good job spreading the ball out. Like everybody eats. That's their slogan this year. But like against Houston and Baltimore, you really didn't see that much. It was a down game for them. But now that Cooper's here, I feel like Josh is really happy because like he has a reliable wide receiver now. He has multiple options he can go to now. So I really do think this trade is going to benefit the Bills in the long run.
Yeah. So we'll see how it rolls off with Cooper, and can't wait to be yelling "Coop" and every time he catches a first down or gets a touchdown, and be rocking to see what Bills Mafia has to do and has in store for him when he joins the team. Moving on to, actually, speaking of this, thank you for foreshadowing this, Zach. Ravens still flying high after their, I would say, shootout against the Commanders. Again, this is not a Commanders channel, by the way, because I know I talk about them a lot, but we can talk about them as well. The Ravens pulled it out against the Commanders, I would say, but the Commanders kind of, did this, did that to both, kind of did the, defense wasn't, iffy at times, but again, the Commanders stuck with them, I think, in my opinion, and that's a bonus. Only negative side, I think Jonathan Allen did go down for the season.
Torn pec,
torn pec, and he is done for the season. So they'll be relying on, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they have Johnny Newton now, the rookie out of Illinois that I thought the Bills might have targeted in the draft, but they're going to rely on Johnny Newton now a little bit more. I don't know if he's injured, but I think they're going to rely on him a little bit more now, since Jonathan Allen is gone. So again, props to the Commanders for sticking in there with them. But at the end of the day, the Ravens fly high in the victory. Guys, I mean, hey, listen, if I think the Ravens are getting rolling, I think this is what everyone feared, but again, not shocking at all that the Ravens got off to a slow start. And going back to the running game, man, it's just we touched on this in our episode, Aaron. We got to stop. People have to stop the run, man. Derrick Henry is still Derrick Henry. He is the king for a reason. And hey, listen, keep going, keep going, kid. I mean, Derrick Henry is the king with Lamar on the running game, beating the Commanders. Guys, is this kind of a scary feeling that? Can you put them in the conversation? I always want to touch on this. They are not the Kings. They're not. They may have King Henry, but they are not the Kings. And we all know who the Kings are on this channel, and I've testified this again. In order to beat the King, you have to slay the King. And we all know what team I'm going to be talking about here. Do you think, after a couple weeks of the Ravens showing off what they can do, can they slay the dragon and beat the Chiefs finally? Aaron, you go first.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's still such a tough topic to even just think about, because it's like that's the thing. It's like, because Baltimore, they're getting hot now. They've won the past 4 games. So it's like, I don't know if I'm still looking at it as a whole. I don't think so. I mean, granted, yes, I'm sure, Derrick Henry can probably run all over that Chiefs defense, but I don't know, man. I just feel like it's a tough topic, because at the end of the day, the Chiefs still always manage to find ways to win. So it's like, I wish they played each other this year. Like, we play the Chiefs this year. And
they did at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. if I'm gonna give you an answer now, I'm probably gonna say no.
Mhm.
But I don't know. They're hot right now, but I feel like right now it's still kind of too early, potentially to tell. But that's my answer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of with Aaron in the same boat here, but they were talking about this on Good Morning Football earlier on this morning, and I wasn't able to watch it, and I couldn't watch the game because I had work, unfortunately. But like you said, Mitch, until you beat the Chiefs, you are not the best. You are not better than them. The only reason why I would say yes, maybe, is because Baltimore is playing good, whereas Casey's playing good, but they're not destroying their opponents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mahomes is still good, but he's not like doing these elite plays that we have seen him in the offense do in the last few years. Now, it's still very early on in the season, guys. Like this is week 7 coming up here. So, and we saw what happened last year. You know, the Chiefs were really struggling at the end of the season, and once they were in the playoffs, they were all systems go. So that's why I'm going to say no right now, because I know what the Chiefs are capable of. They've done before, and they can do it again. Now, listen, I want to see what happens after this trade deadline, okay? Because Baltimore obviously has King Henry already, okay? But I mean, the Chiefs are the only 2 teams in the NFL who are 5-0. Well, are the Ravens playing better football than them right now? Yes. That right now is the key, though. Okay, the Ravens have lost. Can we all agree that Baltimore was going to pick up eventually here? Like they went 0-2, and now they're starting to look like the football team that we expected them to be. So again, right now is a key word here. Are they playing better than Chiefs right now? Yes, they are. Both teams are still winning, but we're gonna see what happens once November, December, and January comes, the real dog months of NFL football.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Again, it's really interesting to me. Like I said, it's not shocking at all. Honestly, we could be talking about them being the best team in the NFL if they didn't lose by a toe. So I mean, it could be a very different story if Likely actually got in. I would say, but again, man, it's tough. It's tough. It's the dog days of in the beginning of the season. Again, beginning of seasons are never easy as well. I mean, people can go off to a start hard. Look at the Eagles. We'll talk about them in a minute. But look at the Eagles, man. I mean, they went off to a 10-1 start, and then all the way down to losing to the Bucks in the playoffs. So I mean, that was actually really satisfying to watch because the Bucks absolutely dominated them. But again, it's interesting to me because we all saw this coming. If the Ravens ever go 0-2 ever again, or 1-2 or whatever they did, don't count them out. I mean, honestly, don't count them out again. But I agree with you, Zach. I mean, I agree with both of you. It is not right now. As of right now, Chiefs are still the Kings, and like I said, you're gonna have to slay the dragon at some point. We very well could see them in the playoffs against each other once again. So again, I'm thinking ahead here, but they could easily be the 1 and 2 seed. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not giving them the 1 and 2 seed right now because, like I said, it is week 7 going into week 7. So we're getting into the middle of the month. We're getting in the middle of the season now, and almost halfway point. So we shall see. But speaking of Mahomes and Lamar, another rookie quarterback that I have my eye on is Mr. Quarterbacks is Mr. Drake May going for his first start. And what a way to welcome yourself into the NFL and getting thrown to the wolves already is against the Houston Texans, man. What a way to welcome yourself. Yeah, welcome yourself to the NFL. There has shown some flashes in that game. I did see a little bit of highlights from him. First NFL touchdown was thrown in that game. So again, there is promise there. I think that is their future. I think, in my opinion, they had enough of Jacoby Brissett and the kid out of North Carolina, Mr. Third overall pick in the draft, going to New England, making his first start in Houston. Guys, what did you think of the kids' first start? And are you impressed? Are you guys scared yet? Have you guys not seen enough? Obviously, no one's seen enough. Obviously, I shouldn't really poise that. What do you guys think of Mr. May's first start? Aaron, I'll let you go first again.
I mean, kind of, going to what you said. I mean, I guess I would say I'm not, nervous yet. I mean, he's obviously no, Jaden Daniels. I mean, it was an okay, performance. I guess it was definitely expected when you're playing a team like Houston.
Mm-hmm.
He went 20 for 33, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks, and he got sacked 4 times. So, I mean, a team like, New England, who really doesn't have, the weapons, I mean, I'll give him props, definitely. 3 touchdowns, putting up 21 points to Houston there. I mean, it's a step in the right direction, definitely. But to answer your question, I mean, yeah, obviously we haven't seen a lot from him right now. Am I worried about it? No, not right now. And then yeah, like I said, he's no Jaden Daniels at the moment. Daniels definitely covers that QB slot, when it comes to this past draft. But I mean, yeah, I mean, he was eventually going to get the start at some point, and hopefully this, his 3 touchdown performance just gives the kid the confidence that he needs moving forward.
Yeah. Go ahead, Zach.
I'm not gonna say much because I wasn't able to watch a lot of the games this weekend because of work. So just going by a stat line, I'm sure it's pretty impressive. I know it's like 2 interceptions or whatnot or 3, whatever it was, but um, I mean, listen, anytime you throw, it's not something to write home about, but against a really good Houston team, that's pretty solid for him. So I mean, I won't say craps to him. Props to him for doing pretty solid. But I mean, yeah, like Aaron said, it's one game. He's gonna have some moments. Every rookie quarterback goes through those good and bad moments. So we'll see. But yeah, no, I can't really say much because I wasn't able to watch him.
Yeah, and like I said, everyone knows that I'm the draft guy. I believe in our group, so you really can't really give me that title, but I do appreciate the feedback from you guys about how you guys think that what I would think. But going back to the combine, here and seeing him, I always thought he was the number 2 coming out, and kind of looking at that now, I'm obviously Jane Daniels looking like he is the number 1 quarterback coming out of that right now. Obviously, we haven't seen that much from Caleb, but we'll get to Caleb in a minute. Yeah, I mean, shockingly here that he did as impressive that I thought he was going to, but again, putting up 21 points against the Houston Texans is the shocking one here. But again, we'll see what we'll see down the road. We'll see him towards the end of the season, I believe in week 18 and week 16, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see him in those games if he is not already sat or going to be benched or injured. We'll never know at the time. So
I have a funny just meme. So NFL meme just tweeted out the AFC East after watching Drake May play once, and it's literally a screenshot of Adam Schefter's tweets about. Now I know you can't see it, but announcing the trades for the Bills and the Jets, like trading for Devontae Adams and trading for Amari Cooper. So I just thought I would throw that in there while we're talking about May.
I mean, it is funny because they do not have a go-to number 1 right now, but stick out for inside the sideline mock draft that will be coming up later on in the season. So you'll definitely get you'll get the inside scoop soon here. Do a top 10 maybe midway through the season. Moving on to another team that's been kind of impressive, and you guys can probably jump in on this. The Bucks keep sailing, another win. I mean, I wanted to talk about the Bucks for a while now, but I really can't find a way to fit them in. They just been that team in the NFC South, keeping it along with the Falcons here. Guys, I mean, shocking that the Bucks are actually acting good with Baker at the home. Again, I am happy for Baker. I'm happy that he found a home. I'm happy that he got his contract. And maybe, but it ends with story if the Browns actually utilized him or got something around him more. But I'm very happy that he was finally found a home. Finally settled down at the Buccaneers, and look at him, man. I think they're sitting at top of the NFC South, I think, right now. I mean, or tied with the Falcons right now. But the Falcons beating their game in a divisional game with the Panthers. Yeah, what do you think of the Bucks sailing right now? Zach, I'll have you go first on this one. What do you think of the Bucks?
The Bucks are like a sneaky team. Like it's kind of like the Bills in 2019 where, they were going to be a good team, but no one's really talking about them because you have the Chiefs, you have the Vikings, you have all these other teams that are, expected to be good and get talked about, but you don't really hear anyone talking about Tampa Bay. Like they're putting a really good season. We saw them last year, obviously, on Thursday night. And, that game was down to the wire. Like they are a good team and they should be talked about more. I feel like they're like that under the radar kind of team where, they have the talent, they have the winning record, but no one's talking about them. As for Baker, yeah, man, how can you not be happy for Baker? He got drafted first overall by Cleveland. That obviously did not go well. And then he went to Carolina, I believe, after that.
Carolina, then LA for some random reason, and then finally found home.
So yeah, I mean, when you have Mike Evans as a wide receiver, Godwin as well, you're in good shape. And Baker just seems like a good dude overall, like down to earth good dude. Obviously, him and Josh and Lamar are going to be tied together as the 2018 draft class, which still can't believe that we wanted Josh Rosen over Josh Allen, by the way. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's like a good underdog story, for Baker. So yeah, as for the Bucks, they're a good team. They're legit. And do I think they're the best team in NFC? No, obviously not, because they have Detroit and Minnesota as well. But I would not be surprised if they went to the divisional round or the championship round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy for Baker that he found his home. And yeah, Tampa Bay, they're just cruising. I mean, to put up 51 points against the tough Saints team. I mean, that's just absolutely crazy. And then they had their shootout last week against Atlanta. I mean, they've just been an all around good team, beating Washington, Detroit, Philly this year. They just keep on cruising. They're sitting, 4-2 right now, and I'm looking ahead at their schedule, and they have a very, very tough matchup before their bye in week 11. You got the Ravens this week at home on Monday night, and then you stay home, play Atlanta again at home after their loss in Atlanta a couple weeks ago. And then you travel to KC on Monday night, and then you're back home against San Francisco before their week 11 bye. So they're kind of just, I mean, they're obviously, in a good spot sitting at 4-2 right now, but I'm curious to see how they do over the span of the next month to see, this is like their prove it kind of, their prove it kind of spot right here. Like, if they are legit, I expect them to, maybe take 3 out of the 4 games. But yeah, I feel like as of right now, I'm definitely curious to see what Tampa Bay can do moving forward, just, based on their schedule in the next 4 weeks. But as of right now, they're definitely cruising. I know we touched up when we had our video a couple weeks ago. I know we touched up on them a little bit. That win that they had in week 2 against Detroit. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. I was the only one that picked Tampa Bay in Dan's predictions for that week. So just wanted to throw that out there. Nothing against you guys.
I'm used to the MBX network.
Nothing against you guys at all or nothing. Just want to throw that out there. But
yeah, no, not at all. No. But
I mean, yeah, they're just doing their thing. Happy for Baker. And like I said, I want to see what these next 4 weeks can do for them.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting to see what Mr. Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks see and how they're going to do. They end their series against Atlanta, so I'm sure they're looking for some payback and another divisional, hopefully a divisional win for them. And yeah, so hopefully we'll see in the next NFC. Real quick before we touch on the next subject, both of you guys can kind of chime in on this. Do you think they're the third best team in the NFC right now?
Yes.
In the
You
NFC.
think so?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. I mean, because I would put Detroit and I would put the 49ers ahead of them right now. But obviously, they put the 49ers. I still think they're going to get going. I think they're going to be like the Ravens. They're going to get it going. But I would put the Lions and the 49ers ahead of them as of right now. But
Even
again,
Minnesota?
We'll touch base on Minnesota.
Okay.
But
right.
I think like I said, I'm gonna touch on this really quick on this for you. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna touch on what Aaron said. It's gonna be a prove it next couple of weeks here. I mean, if you can take down, as you say, 3 out of the 4, we all would like to see them take down Kansas City. But if you can beat Atlanta, that's a divisional win for you. Kind of go into the bye, only with 3 losses and their 3 wins coming out of that 4-game stretch. It will certainly be interesting to see how that fares with them and the Buccaneers. And then again, I'll touch on what you said, Zach. They are an underdog, I think, in my opinion, too. I think that's the one NFC team I think you guys we're not talking about enough. Again, that's probably with the other 2 teams in the NFC South is the Saints and the Falcons too. We never expected them to be, where they're at now. But again, Derek Carr being out, so maybe the Saints are dropping off a little bit. But we shall see in the next coming weeks here. But sticking with the NFC, what a way to beat Jerry Jones's team on his birthday. The Lions beating America's team. Happy to see the Dallas Cowboys.
Beating is being too generous, Mitch. That was was something.
Listen, I'm trying not to get canceled on YouTube already, being 4 episodes in here, but again, it's just I don't know, man. I have no words. I watched the entire game because I am not really a Dallas Cowboys fan. I think their fans are annoying. No,
I don't think anyone is in this chat here.
Yeah, I they're not annoying, but they think it's their year every year, and we always want to make fun of them. So, we dem boys are we dem chokers, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, Lions, man, again rolling, they're roaring everywhere. So it's just absolutely manhandling Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Again, put it in nice terms, so I'm not getting canceled on YouTube.
Listen, you said maul. I don't think I won't be really mad that you said mauling because Lions they maul. That's what they do.
They went into Dallas and they said, "Yep, on Jerry Jones' birthday. Yep, happy birthday, Jerry Jones. Guess what? Your team lost." Kind of going on both sides here. Kind of Lions and Cowboys side. This kind of actually it's gonna tie into actually the next 3 subjects here. Going on Cowboys. If the Cowboys are the way that they are right now and they continue down this road, and I'm not saying they're not going to make the playoffs. I mean, I'm not saying they are going to make the playoffs. But after that week's performance, obviously they look like they're going to be inconsistent because they can be good, they can not be good. It's an inconsistency with that team. I think in my opinion, I think the other Texas team is better than them right now. So someone's calling NFL. But again, it is very interesting to see what Dallas does, but this actually ties into the next 3 subjects. But you the viewers will know what the theme is. Going to Dallas, do you think Mike McCarthy, after that performance? Now, I'm not saying after the performance, but I'm just saying in general. I've seen reports, I've seen NFL memes. Do you think Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat now? Just because after that performance, obviously can't judge it off that performance, but I may say his overall record with the Cowboys says differently, but overall record doesn't produce, the outcome. yes, you could win a bunch of games, but you can lose all the important ones. So my question to this in this regard, well, because we'll touch on the Lions here in a minute. Both of you, do you think Mike McCarthy is going to be on the hot seat from here on out to the rest of the season? Zach, I'll have you go first.
Okay. So one time I don't put my phone away, it goes off. Go figure. I mean, honestly, I'm not sure why he's still even on the team. I think from the start was an awful hire by the Cowboys. Other than what has he done in the past years, other than win one Super Bowl, to really make him a coach? Listen, when you have Aaron Rodgers, I feel like that's why he was such a successful coach. And Aaron Rodgers has only won one Super Bowl since then. So from the hire, I just thought it was a joke. But after, yes, I do think he should be on a hot seat because the Cowboys were absolutely incredible at home last year. Absolutely awesome at home. This year, in their 2 home games, well, I know they've had more, but in the 2 games against the Ravens, I know they almost came back. But in the Ravens and the Lions, they were getting manhandled on their own turf. You don't see that, and that's not a good recipe for a football team, okay? If you one blowout year or whatever at home, it happens to everyone most of the time. But when you have teams coming in your house and kicking your what, that's an issue. Now, obviously, it doesn't fall just on Mike McCarthy. It falls on the players, the organization, and the staff. But I just wonder, like, what is going on? I feel like something bad is going on in Dallas. Like, they're showing these sideline shots of CeeDee Lamb and Dak talking to each other, and CeeDee's frustrated, as every star wide receiver is apparently nowadays in the NFL is. So, yeah, I mean, I think he should be on the hot seat. And what? So Dallas, what, 3-3 right now?
Mm-hmm.
If they don't do anything in the next couple of weeks and months, I think he can get fired before the season even ends. That's my take. But they're 3-3. I think that he would be gone, if not during the season, after this year for sure.
All right, I like the bold prediction right there for you, Zach. Aaron, what do you think about Mr. Mike McCarthy?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with Zach. I would not surprise me at all if he's gone in just a matter of weeks. I was gonna look at their upcoming games here. Obviously, they have the bye this week, so kind of gives them a little bit of rest, I guess you can say. But it doesn't get any easier for them. Next week, they have San Francisco, Atlanta, Philly, Houston, Washington. And then finally, the end of November, you're home against the Giants. So that might be your next win, is the end of November. I don't see Dallas. I don't know. Maybe they beat Philly. Philadelphia isn't the greatest this year. Maybe they beat Philly. That's kind of like a toss up for me. But I mean, yeah, I agree with Zach. It would not surprise me at all if he's gone in just a couple weeks here. And then, yeah, like Zach said, it doesn't always fall on the coach. It's obvious the players as well. Dak, I mean, he's just playing horrible football. You don't have a solidified running back anymore, and Rico Dowdle. He only has like 131 yards on the year. They bring in Zeke to think, he's, their guy, but I mean, he's old, washed up. He's not, the Zeke back in, in 2018 or whatever anymore. Like it's just not working out. You sign, CeeDee Lamb to that extension and I don't know. I think that, might have been a mistake. I feel like, that might hurt them in the long run, in my opinion. I feel like you might have been better off, at this. I mean, granted, it's still early, only, 6 weeks in, but I don't know. They might have been better off maybe getting some assets for him potentially. But yeah, to get absolutely destroyed like that in your home arena, 47-9. Like, I mean, there's just no excuse why you're playing, that bad. I mean, granted, I know Detroit is a good team, but still, like, that score is just absolutely insane. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing in Dallas, and I would expect a change to come very, very soon.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how what it plays out. Again, bold predictions here on the Inside the Sideline podcast. Saying Mike McCarthy might not make it to the end of the season. So, kind of like I said, kind of just touching on this real quick, and then we'll get to the next topic, which again, good for the Lions. I mean, they're still rolling, they're still roaring out everywhere. So, I mean, good for them. They beat America's team, like I said, on Jerry Jones's birthday, which is still funny because the announcer said "Happy birthday, Jerry Jones," and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's funny because of the score. So it was good. It was funny to see that and everything. But good for the Lions. They're still rolling. They're trying to keep up with the Minnesota Vikings. Um, another team in that.
Mitch, I just want to say something. I think I can speak for all of us, where we are heartbroken for Aiden Hutchinson, his injury that he suffered in that game too.
Yeah.
If you've seen it, it's absolutely brutal. If you haven't seen it, don't do yourself a favor. Don't watch it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrible to look at.
Yeah.
So
Thoughts
and
and
prayers go out to Aiden, because he is such a fun player and a good guy overall. So hopefully he heals up soon and gets ready for next season.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers. I meant to say that in the beginning of the topic there, but thoughts and prayers out to you, there, buddy, and Aiden Hutchinson, and to get recovered soon. Again, you could probably talk to Nick. You probably can talk to Nick Chubb about that, because another gruesome injury of last year. Just as I was watching that game, and you can already tell when he was going down, man. Just you could see it on the face. You could see it on his face, and speedy recovery, get back soon, and get back to sacking those quarterbacks there, Hayden. So good luck to you, buddy, and we all appreciate you. But going to another NFC North team that we got is the Bear is mightier than the Jaguar, and the Bears taking care of business in London of the Jaguars, basically second home at this point. The Jaguars fall to the Bears. Caleb Williams actually flashing some first overall pick wise, not flashing on first overall pick. He painted his nails. But again, this is just the way that Caleb Williams is. Guys, wanted to get your take on Mr. Caleb Williams and the Bears. We'll touch on the Jaguars here in just a second. But again, another theme going back to last topic. Doug Peterson. Again, another candidate for getting rid of halfway through the season. Touch on the Bears. We'll touch on the Bears first here. Aaron, I'll let you go first. What do you think of the Bears' performance?
I mean, yeah, in general, they looked pretty good. I think their defense, I watched a little bit of that game. I think their defense was absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, yeah, Caleb, he had a pretty good stat line, 23 for 29, 226 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception, which was, I saw that interception that he had. It was definitely his fault. He should have floated that ball a little bit more. I think it was to DJ Moore, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was DJ. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if he floated that just a little bit more, he would have had DJ wide open in the end zone. But that ball was so underthrown. So that was definitely on him. But I mean, yeah, overall, it was a pretty good performance by Chicago. I mean, granted, they're playing a very bad Jacksonville Jaguars team. But I mean, yeah, overall, quarterback Caleb Williams was solid. They had a good running game. Caleb and Cole Kmet, it seems like they have that connection. They talked about Cole Kmet so much during that game against Jacksonville in London there. So it's like they definitely have the chemistry going forward. We saw a lot of Keenan Allen, saw some flashes of Roma Dunze in that game. And then, yeah, like I said, their defense was absolutely incredible. That pressure getting to Trevor Lawrence was absolutely insane. But yeah, overall is good game by them. They're sitting, pretty at 4-2. But obviously, looking towards the future to see if Caleb can still continue his hot streak with Chicago here.
Yeah. And, Zach, I'll let you take the other topic, actually. The Jaguars. We've seen them. We know what they are. And I'll let you touch on the Doug Peterson situation. Again, going back to Mike McCarthy, another cut candidate.
What the hell happened to the Jags, man?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell happened to them? They were a playoff team a couple of years. Everyone remembers that unbelievable effort or comeback in the playoff game against the Chargers a couple of years ago. I don't get it, man. It's the same team pretty much the last 2 years. And the Jags are looking like the Jags of old. Trevor Lawrence is not doing good at all. Their head coach is terrible. Defense, nowhere to be seen. Poor Joshua Hines Allen. He is riding away there in Jacksonville. But even he's not really. I mean, I haven't really watched a whole lot of them this year, so I can't really say anything about him. But like when I watch him, I really don't notice him that much. I'm not sure if teams are just game planning better. But regardless, the Jags as a whole are with all due respect to them, a joke right now.
Yeah,
they're a joke. And I just like Mike McCarthy, Doug Pearson should definitely be on a hot seat. Mike McCarthy is maybe yes. Pearson is up there. He absolutely should be he should be fired.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's still around nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe once they get back to from London, they'll fire. I don't know. But the London Jags are not doing good right now. And this is what happens when you can't play Buffalo, in your homestead. I'm just joking. I'm just being an asshole.
Yeah.
But no, all seriousness aside, though, it's like, what happened to this team? Yeah. They were viewed as a division winner because, I know they lost Ridley. I'm sure that's biting him in the ass right now. He went to Tennessee. But I don't know what happened, man. But yeah, no, as for Pearson, he should be on the hot seat. And like I said, once they get back from London, I think that I think they have one more game there, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But yeah, I think once they get back to the States, if they're back, he should be fired like ASAP. Not like it's going to help anything. I think their season is a wash as it is. But that's where I stand on that.
Yeah, and I think they really have to consider a coaching change if you lose to Drake May next week because they are facing what a
great game that's going to be.
Yeah, I know that game's going to be so much fun to watch, and waking up again and watching that game. But this is going to be I think the most not controversial topic, but the most talked about one. The Eagles barely beating the Browns. Now I wanted to get to this topic just because, again, this is going to go to the situation that we were talking about for the last two. But not just for the Browns, but for the Eagles as well. The Eagles haven't looked good this year. I think we can all agree on that. The Browns, they have been the Browns. They haven't looked good this year. Kevin Stefanski, Nick Sirianni. I say both of them are in the hot seat. I don't think... Now, like I said, you guys can jump in on this. You guys can either one can take Eagles, one can take Browns, but I'll talk about both here in this for a sec. I saw a YouTube video. If anyone watches C4, he's a football YouTuber. He's an Eagles fan, and he talked about how Nick Sirianni is a bad coach. I'll say bad. He used a different word, but he's a bad coach. And him and Jalen Hurts, I don't see it. There's something going on that everyone's saying in the media. Oh no, nothing's going on. Nothing's going on. Everyone's just procrastinating about it. Nah, are you sure? Because we've seen sideline shots. Jalen getting frustrated. I think I'm on Jalen's side, man. I don't think Nick Sirianni's that coach. He used to be. I know. Yeah, you made the Super Bowl. You made the Super Bowl a couple times here and there. You did it with Doug Peterson back in the day, and you won it. But now Nick Sirianni comes into town, and you've won games. Has it been time to finally realize that Nick Sirianni maybe not the right guy for the helm? Maybe Jalen has a say in this, and maybe he's gone after this season, or Eagles could be on the downfall again and lose a couple games here and there. Sirianni's still on the hot seat. Maybe the Eagles owner says, you know what? You're gone. And the Eagles fans finally rejoice. And same goes for Nick Sirianni and the Browns. Aaron, I'll give you the Eagles What do you think of that hot take right now?
I mean, I could see both sides. I mean, you obviously had, a good source. I do watch a little bit of C4 myself, actually. But I mean, coming from an Eagles fan, it's obviously a lot more clear, to see, the situation going on in Philly. But yeah, they're definitely not, the Philadelphia team that, we're used to seeing. Starting up the season 3 and 2, like it's it's very mediocre for them right now. They went out, signed, Saquon, and everyone thought, this offense was just going to be even more, high powered. And, in the end, it's, really not. I mean, I look at, to answer your question, I feel like it's definitely still early at the moment, because like all the other teams that we did, I fast forward to, their couple, to the next, couple games here. And over the next, 3-4 weeks, they have some pretty favorable matchups.
Yeah.
You got the Giants, Bengals, Jaguars, and then Dallas. So it's definitely a toss up. But yeah, to answer your question, I feel like it is early still right now. I feel like, once you get into maybe like end of November, early December, to kind of really tell, where Philadelphia is at, if they are, gonna, be a playoff team, or if they're just completely out of it. I feel like you kind of just have to wait on it right now.
Yeah. Zach, your take on the Browns. I'll give you the Browns. Kevin Stefanski, and you think he's in the hot seat?
Yes. Now listen, I don't know if this on Stefanski, but him going with Deshaun Watson, I feel like he really doesn't have a choice. You are paying this guy so much money to not do a single thing in the game, so your hands are tied with that. But really quickly, I'm glad none of you guys said this about the Eagles. Did you guys see the video of Nick Sirianni going out with the Eagles fans?
He was going at no. He went after who'd they face this week?
Cleveland.
They faced, yeah. So
Cleveland.
I think he was yelling at either. I think he was yelling at Cleveland fans. I'm not.
No, they said it was Eagles fans.
It was Eagles fans. Oh,
That's what they
okay.
said.
So yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, but
take that as you will. But
yeah.
no, for the Browns, it's like, thank God Cooper's gone. Cooper's probably happy. Now I don't mean this to be like, annoying, but even Browns fans are tired of this. Like, and for good reason. They were just like us. They were the joke of the league the last few times, and they still are, unfortunately. But that's what you get when you pay a quarterback who is a scumbag and barely produces on the field. So, I mean, at this point, they should just bring back Joe Flacco because he's better than Deshaun Watson right now. But yeah, no, the Browns are the Browns. Stefanski, again, we talk about the coach and the players. He kind of has I think he's a good coach, and he's proven because he's took them to the playoffs the last couple of years now. But now I feel like they're just selling with trading Cooper. You know what I mean? Like, who do they have now that's like, other than Nick Chubb and Njoku and Myles Garrett, obviously, they don't really have anything to really celebrate right now. So,
yeah.
Thank God they have a good basketball and baseball team there.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's the only thing they have going on for them right now. And yeah, and like we will see about with Mr. Stefanski. I don't think it's time to call tank mode yet, but it's certainly going to be interesting to see if the Browns do decide to move on from Stefanski and maybe target something in the draft. Maybe you never know, but again, this is really interesting to see. So, I mean, one last topic. Obviously, it is obviously a kind of a common theme here with all the videos. Again, check us out inside the sidelines every Tuesday for uploads and videos. Guys, Bills and Jets, and it was a doozer. Yep, exactly. Aaron says it all, and Zach says it all over here. My take. Well, I'll get each other's take. Final thoughts on this one. Frustrating. It was frustrating in the beginning. A little bit interesting in the second half. Kind of odd because there was 2 doinks. Always hearing Aaron's doink doink noise, and it was very interesting to see the chat very reacted to that. Obviously, I foreshadowed a lot of stuff because I said he's gonna make it and he missed. He's gonna make it. He's gonna miss. So
And Aaron calls me Doink the Clown when I send that meme of Doink the Clown. What an asshole.
yeah, no one's ever gonna see the group chat, but no one should ever said we save everybody. We save everybody. But guys, my final thought is we got the job done. That's all I can say. I mean, Josh played good. He didn't play great. He didn't play good. He played what he needed to do. He needed to do what he needed to do. He needed to come back after that last week. 9-30. I'm still gonna hold him against it until I see another good performance out of him. Like I said, back to back, we got to make sure he's consistent. But I'm not going to dwell on it. A win is a win, according to.
And you make fun of me when I say that, and yeah, here we both are saying that. So kiss my ass.
I was going to politely say, out of a wise guy that says a win is a win.
Yeah, you're welcome. You all laughed at me. Oh, you're so funny.
I say it to pick on you.
Yeah.
No, but, you said on BOX Network before with the bandits. I don't want to hear it.
That's
comment section. Just say a win is a win. Exactly. Just say a win is a win. But a wise man once said a win is a win. Another wise man said, let's take our wins when we can get them. And I think this is one of those games where you can say, you know what? They did what they needed to do. Again, it wasn't pretty, but it wasn't bad. It was what they needed to do to get the job done. And they are now sitting at 4-2, going into Tennessee, obviously coming home, but going against Tennessee. Let's just prep that. Final thought for me, they got the job done. That's all I can say. And Allen played like he needed to, and got the job done. Zach, I'll let you go first on this one.
You're gonna laugh at me, but no, it's a win is a win. Okay. At this point in the season, here's why. They needed that win. They absolutely needed that win. They were 3-2, horrible performances the last 2 nights, or the last 2 games, I should say. They needed that, man. Good teams find ways to win. The Bills found a way to win, okay? Mm-hmm. It was not pretty, but to their credit, it was kind of like a shift in the guard because the offense was good in the first half. The defense was awful in the first half. Second half comes around. Defense was they limited damage. Okay, they were good. The offense, not so much. Now, obviously, it mattered the most when Josh got them down the field, and Bass, thankfully, made that chip shot field goal. You never know with Bass. So you should have shown me. I was literally Tim Tebowing on the ground, but before he was a kid that field goal, I was so damn nervous.
I would have loved to see it.
No, dude, it's watching games with me is an adventure. But no, like, you laugh at me, but it's right though. Like, that's what they are. Okay, you take the wins, you can get them in the NFL. There is no easy game in the NFL. I think we can all agree on that. We have seen too many times this team play down to their opponents. So 4-2. I had a damn headache last night after watching that, but I was just so relieved that, defense did their job. I was still annoyed with that damn Hail Mary. Let me tell you, it still ticks me off to this day. 5 guys around, whatever. I'm not. Calm down, Zach.
Don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it next week. Let's get next week.
But yeah, no, you be a good. The Jets have a good defense. They really, really do. I know that people laugh at them for being the Jets, but they have a solid team. They just can't put it together for some reason. It's really weird. And lastly, divisional games are no easy gimme, okay? You gotta play a battle. You gotta battle hard. But you know what? Buffalo's 4-2. It doesn't matter how you get them. I feel like having that, gives them not a stranglehold, but a firm hold lead on the division. So 4-2. You got Tennessee up next. See what happens after that. But listen, doesn't matter how you win a game, as long as you win, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and again, yeah, it's certainly interesting to see what they, like I said, come and, again, Zach, we don't mean to make fun of you. It's just, like I said, a win is a win. Yes. And I do agree. And we're ready to, I think they're ready to rock and roll now with the Cooper trade. Aaron, what do you think?
I just want to get this off my chest right now, but Spencer Brown's got to go.
Yeah, I knew that was coming too.
Absolutely cannot stand penalty Brown, okay? He is absolutely ridiculous on that offensive line. It is absolutely ridiculous. There was 11 penalties on both teams, 22 penalties in total, and Spencer Brown had like 6 of them. He is absolutely terrible.
I'm sure those were actually penalties, though. Let's be honest here. The referees were a joke last night for both sides. Are we sure those were penalties?
I think the referees were just trying to earn their money. But there was, I don't remember if it was the Jets or if it was the Bills, but I think it was the offensive, it was the pass interference on it was against no. Yeah, it was against us. But it was like, I didn't see it fully, but again, if the referees just wanted to throw the flag. Aaron, I understand that you want to get rid of Spencer Brown. I think
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just had to get that in.
Yeah, I know. He needed to get that out in. That's what we are here at the Inside the Sidelines. Get it off your chest, kid. But
just wait.
Just wait until the midway through the season where everyone's gonna be in this podcast. But again, Aaron, what do you like? I understand Spencer Brown and the penalties, but overall, what do you say about the performance?
I mean, overall, it was just an absolutely back and forth crazy game. I mean, me and Zach, we were talking before the game, and he said it best. It's like when you're up against the Buffalo Bills, like it just seems like no game is easy. I mean, granted, it goes for every team. No game is easy in the NFL, but somehow the Bills just always manage to come into close games with teams that I feel like they should beat with ease. Like, I don't know, just, the way the Jets and, Rodgers, the way that they've been playing these past few weeks, I feel like, it should have been like, a Miami type game or, when they played, when they play the Jags, early on in the year, I was kind of hoping for a game like that, but when you're playing in New Jersey, it's always tough. Zach said it, they have a great defense, and the Jets, I mean, they definitely, came to play. And then, you get that clutch touchdown before halftime, and then, you're like, okay, the Bills are going to, get the ball back. So it's like, we're looking pretty solid, and then boom, Rodgers to Lazard, Hail Mary to end the half.
Zach's gonna cry on set right now, guys.
I'll mute my mic so you guys don't have to hear me.
I was just in absolute awe. Like, it's terrible how the Bills defend the Hail Mary. It's just absolutely, and like I said in the chat, it's like, you have so much airtime. Aaron Rodgers is at like the 50. You throw the ball 50, 60 yards, the amount of airtime the ball has, and the fact that none of these guys, all 5 of them, can't get under the ball.
That's it.
But Lazard can.
Wait, Zach.
It's absolutely terrible.
Who's in front of Lazard? Is that Teron?
Taron, yeah.
Yeah, is that Taron? See, again, and yeah, going to your point, Aaron, it's just Taron doesn't have the height, but he has the athleticism to do it. That's the whole thing. Like, I think Taron easily could have picked it. And again, right there. Like, Benford, I don't know what the hell Benford's doing at that in that one. Yeah.
I think DeMar took out his own teammate in doing that too, by the way.
Shocker. DeMar's a liability. Ooh, sorry, folks, but everyone in Bills Mafia knows it's true. But
Jesus.
And I know. And we'll get to topics later. But going to your point, Aaron, it's just the turning point, I think, was that Hail Mary. And Rodgers does it best. Kevin can testify to this.
He's the GOAT at that. Rodgers is the GOAT at that.
Rodgers is the GOAT at Hail Marys. No debate. No debate. You can't name another quarterback in the NFL history that has completed more Hail Marys than Rodgers. You can't really name
Hail
another.
Rodgers, I'm gonna start calling them now.
Yeah, Hail Rodgers, basically, because we're gonna see that highlight for weeks and weeks and weeks now, because out of everybody, and I think everyone can testify to this. The Buffalo Bills are the most highlighted team when it comes to explosive plays. Derrick Henry on Josh Norman. Derrick Henry going for that 86-yard touchdown. Hail Murray. Now Hail Rodgers. We cannot seem to get away from
13
these
seconds.
Yeah, 13 seconds.
Yeah.
Again, we cannot seem to get away from these highlights of other teams just exposing, I think, us. But again, it was a good game. I mean, we're done. You know what, guys? It's over. Let's move on to Tennessee.
It could have been a lot worse because,
Exactly.
we could have been looking. Just imagine if that was another Arizona game, and that was a play to essentially win the game for the Jets, like Murray to Hopkins. That was the play that sent Arizona the win when that whole Hail Mary thing started.
Mm-hmm.
So thankfully, it was only before halftime that that play happened, and thankfully that play in the end didn't help the Jets to win that game. So thankfully, it yes, it hurt, to see that, but at the end of the day, it didn't cost us.
Yeah, and again, but like I said, we're done with it. 4-2, sitting high on the division right now. Again, a divisional win here. Here for us, 4-2 going into Tennessee, coming home and facing the Titans and Will Levis, and see what they got in store for us, guys.
I wonder if a new Will Levis meme coming out this weekend. I wonder what the next one's going to be. He's been doing awesome the last 6 or 7 weeks, so let's see what this week is.
Yeah, but guys, I want to thank you for coming on today. That is about going to be doing it for here at Inside the Sideline podcast here weekly. Like I said, weekly videos on Tuesdays. Like I said, same day upload. But guys, I can't thank you guys enough. Guys, if you guys have not checked out, go check out their podcast. It is one of the best. Inside the Sidelines always has a special heart with Zach and Aaron. These two guys, I want to get both these guys on here. It is a very special episode because these guys.
Should we break the news?
What?
I said, should we break the news, Aaron? While we're already done on social media, so why not just doing a podcast?
We could.
Yeah. Aaron, do you want to do it?
Go ahead. You got it. So it's your call.
All right. So we are happy to announce that BOX Network is going in person now for part-time. Thank you. We got a new banner today. It came in finally from China. Took it long enough, but I showed Aaron. Mitch, I'm sure you saw on Facebook. It's absolutely beautiful.
I did. I loved it.
We're not going to do it full time because if we have guests on, we obviously not going to be able to have them they're in the studio. So
that was a guest.
Talking about cosplayers, Mitch, not some other fan that we love so much.
I mean, if Josh Byrne is, welcome to show up at your house one day, I mean, yeah, sure.
Don't expose my damn studio now, Aaron.
We'll have. Oh, sorry. Yeah, your studio. Sorry. I mean, yeah. We'll have a. Ignore that. Cut that out, Mitch. Cut that out.
Yeah.
Looking for a new co-host.
Everything is going in here, brother. Everything. This is content.
Exposing your candy ass now.
Yeah, but no, like I said, guys, like I said to Inside the Sideline viewers, these two guys have been very, very supportive about me and starting this podcast. So again, I will thank everybody every week. These guys have Inside the Sidelines always in their hearts because they are part of this podcast. I feel like, in my opinion, because Zach and Aaron both have inspired me to do this podcast and do what I like to do and talk about sports and do what I do. So
Enjoy
I want
having me.
to, I want to personally thank you too for, helping me out with this and coming on, both of you this time, and not having you guys on separate videos. Definitely looking forward to doing this in the future, and looking forward to these guys' podcast in person, ready to rock and roll for the lacrosse season. As always, go Bandits for us here at Inside the Sidelines. Go Bills, because this is a football podcast. And like I said, weekly videos coming to you on Tuesdays. Guys, thank you again for joining me on this wonderful episode. Very, very,
I appreciate you.
yeah,
Keep on doing your thing, okay?
yeah, appreciate you guys, brothers. Appreciate you guys. Always appreciate you. Like I said, you guys are always going to be a part of this podcast. Zach, you with the thumbnail, appreciate that. Aaron, with you, me and you talking outside of recording and talking about this, and you being the first ever guest, and you guys both of my favorite podcasters inside one episode for us. And again, thank you very much for watching today's episode. It has been a banger, and always love doing these episodes with these guys. These guys, like I said, will always be a part of Inside the Sidelines for years to come and for episodes to come. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching. Hope you all enjoy, and we'll catch you on the flip side. And remember, as always, go Bills, and for them, go Bandits. Have a good night, everybody.